share with my sister.
That's
I'm
right,
not mad at
boo.
that
That's
at all. Then you pulled up one of my personal friends. What's up? Back there in the mask. I like it. Listen, if you guys are just tuning in, of course, we live on Reec Radio. Got my beautiful calls to the left of me. Your boy Reec right here. We have Yandy Smith Harris all the way from NYC. You've been down here in these streets, though.
I've been in these streets.
You can put it on.
I most certainly have been in these Atlanta streets.
Yeah, I see the top down video. I was on her page and I was like, is that Yandy? And then I seen another post. I was like, that is Yandy. What are you doing with X Frequency? Your whole Instagram name. So I was like, okay, they must know each other. Then I saw you at the fight and Miss Juicy was like, we got to get Yandy up there. I was like, please do, because we got to talk.
Yep. So I am officially in the building.
Yes.
We bought a house out here in October. So we have been running these Atlanta streets, and I love it. I'm mad that it took me so long to get here.
Hey, man, you here now. It's right on time to give you a round of applause right there. Right on time now.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's go ahead and get into this interview because I know you got a million things on your plate and growing every day.
Every day.
And then you roll around with this one. So I know the streets ain't safe. I'm just put it to you like that. They're not safe.
They are safe because we just added more loveliness to the street.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Very much so. Very much so. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Of course, we know you from Love and Hip Hop, you know what I'm saying? But you are so much more than that, of course. And shout out to our vice president and you. Y'all got something in common. Oh, Howard alumni. The Bison's in the building.
Bison. Shout out to all my Howard men and women out there.
That's what I'm talking about. I went to Howard homecoming one time. I was like, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to go here.
Oh, it takes a strong one to survive those streets.
Yeah. I was like, I ain't gonna be able to go. I ain't gonna make it.
From 7 a.m. in the morning until 7 a.m. the next morning.
Till 7:01.
That's there you go.
Sleep.
It's no sleep.
No sleep.
None.
Right, man. I love it, man. So big shout out to being an HBCU alum. Oh man, there's two things I never thought I would see you paired with. And now, I mean, I know you're a verse person, but first and foremost, I never thought to see Yandy and Mendices and Duck Dynasty mash up together.
Yes,
I was like, wait a minute. Where did that come from? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It's so crazy because one of our producers from Love and Hip Hop, who is an amazing friend of ours, his name is Ian Gelfin. We've done a bunch of work together, and he's also the producer of their show. He was their producer for a very long time of Duck Dynasty. And they have this new format, this new show on Facebook Watch. It's called Home with the Robertsons. Right. It's just them talking about real issues and inviting people to their home. And they asked him, do you think Yandy Mendices would come?
Wow.
And little did they know, we've been a huge fan of the show anyway.
I'm a closet Duck Dynasty fan too. I can't lie.
We like, they want us to come? All we want to know is, can they teach us how to duck call?
Really?
So we got there.
Okay.
We got there, and they wanted to have some real conversation. And you know, I'm all for real conversations about culture, about race, about where we are in the community. So I was all for that. Mendices as well got to share his experience. Yeah. But then we got to do some duck calling, and we went fishing for the first time.
See, that's the part I didn't see. I wanted to ask about. Did y'all actually go fishing? That's crazy.
They didn't air that.
I didn't see that part at the end.
So at the end of it, I believe they show us fish. Well, Mendices fishing, and he actually caught a fish.
Oh.
And had the nerve, when the fish came out, had the nerve to be scared. The fish was about this big, as big as my pinky finger. I'm like, wait, he's like, get it. I'm like, you want me to get it? It was going all over the place. I was like, I'm not touching that thing.
Hey, listen, man, as a man that fished before, the first time I caught a fish, it was a traumatizing experience.
It was a traumatizing.
Fish was jumping around.
That's exactly what was happening. They're like, you gotta, you know, they're like, what you gonna do? You gonna throw it back? You gonna keep it? And he was like, throw it back, but you touch it. I was like, oh, you can't
wait a minute, did
a
you
whole
catch
G in these streets.
She said they showed him catching it, not her.
I ain't
she
catch
threw
one.
the fish back though.
No, I ain't do that either.
I tried to help you.
Well, thank you. I didn't catch one and I didn't throw it back.
I gotta teach you a little better than that.
Juicy knows how to fish.
Yes.
You fish.
I'm from the country.
Juicy from Oak Cliff.
I am not from Oak Cliff.
She throwing stuff. See, I'm from the city. We don't just have lakes and stuff. We got the Hudson River, and you might fish and get a dead body.
We had
so we don't do
creek
fishing
behind our house. So you know.
See, I don't know nothing about the creeks.
Oh yeah, the creek, everything, little lake.
They call them crook and down in the.
You know, back in the country, we had the catfish and everything. So you know, we learned how. I know how to bait my hook. I know how to do all that, whether it's a worm or whether it's a minnow. It don't matter.
Wow.
I know how to do that. I know how to fillet a fish. I know how to scale it. I know all that stuff. Baby, I don't play.
Juicy is a woodsman.
Yeah, I can cook.
Oh yeah, she can definitely cook. She won't cook for us as much anymore.
I need to get invited for dinner. I'm here now.
ASAP.
Oh, well, you know,
I want some dinner.
We come,
Shout out to you getting invited on the first try.
I'm inviting myself. I want some dinner.
She can come anytime, Reece. You the one just can't come anytime.
I know. She let me come on the porch. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
all right,
porch.
man. I'll just play.
You know,
That's
it's
my
COVID.
dog.
You gotta be careful these days.
That's all good.
I'm glad you used that as an excuse.
That's what it
I'm
is.
gonna use that one.
I said I'm gonna wear my mask. My temperature 97.1. I'm all right.
Oh yeah, you good. You good.
All right, man. We are kicking it with Yandy Smith. Had a lot of fun talking about your experience on Duck Dynasty. I love that open conversation though.
Yeah.
Like the way you guys were going back and forth with the parents. Did anything just outright surprise you about them?
You know what? I didn't know that they were going to be so open and vulnerable with the conversation.
Right.
A few years back, Grandpa Robinson made some comments that were pretty offensive to people of color, and they mentioned it.
Yeah.
And they started the conversation about it and just really looked to be educated as to how come this was a problem, which they already understood, but wanted to hear from my perspective, like, you know, this is what I think he meant, but we understand, but tell us how, in your perspective, does this offend you?
Right.
And then they also wanted to know, like, you know, we're raising a black son.
Yes.
You are all raising black sons. What is it like? What can we teach our son that we may never experience? And I appreciated that conversation so much because it shows how much they love and care and are concerned for their son. So I appreciated that. I really, really appreciate. And then even getting the backstory of how it came to be, how they adopted their black son. You know, they went to an adoption place to adopt a child. And, you know, they were like, oh, we don't know. We don't have any babies right now for you. And they're like, really? There are no children out there? And they're like, well, the only children that there are left to be adopted are mixed children. And you know, looking at them, they're predominantly white family.
And they probably walked. I mean, they came in, you see, they got the beards and everything.
Exactly.
So if you judge a book by that cover,
and they were like, "Well,
that don't matter to us. We just want to show a child love. We just want to
help and show a child love." And they said they didn't know, you know, who the baby was. They knew it was going to be a baby of color. They didn't know that the baby was going to be mixed. Actually, they didn't know what the baby was going to be, but they were like, please, if there's a baby available, we want to help that child. We don't care. So that was beautiful to hear. And, you know, we hung out. We went back to their house. We ate. We hung out. We wound up talking about the fireplace, talking about marriage, talking about the struggles, you know, and it was just a really good conversation. They were like, you guys can stay if you want to stay. We was like, we're going to go back to the hotel. But they were so loving, and they're like, you got to come back. You got to bring your kids. So we still talk to them all the time, and we talk about how we're going to go up there and bring the babies up. So it was a really good experience.
I love that. Let me give you a round of applause for that, man. I sat there and watched the whole Facebook Watch episode with that, and man, it was so enlightening. And to see how open-minded both parties were to have those conversations, how vulnerable it was. It was super dope.
I hope they put the part 2 of us fishing and duck call.
I need to see that. I saw the duck call. I seen you trying to drop an album with the duck call. She was like quack, 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 quack. Like she was killing that thing. You know what I'm saying?
I was.
So I like that. We got to see the
fish. She didn't have to get her hands dirty and take the fish. She was okay.
Yeah, I feel you on that. All right, and then the second one I said I didn't think about seeing this pair. You see Yandy's name. You see Christopher Walken's name and Dwight Howard's name. I'm like, I'm gonna do 3-on-3. What we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? But this movie, I'm watching the preview. Looks amazing. And it's right on your page. But I was like, wow, okay.
It's crazy because I've been looking of ways to diversify, you know, my platform and diversify my spending and my investing. So a friend of mine who was managing Dwight Howard was like, listen, we're getting in the movie business and we're looking for more producers and we need this blank amount of dollars to finish this film. And I was like, what am I gonna get back? If I give you this, what am I gonna get back?
Shout out. Let me play the flex bell for you knowing I need a return. Okay.
You want a return on investment. Exactly. So once we, you know, crunched the numbers, then it made sense. It just made a bunch of sense. So I invested a bunch of money and I said, I'm gonna sit back because these are artists that are awarded artists that, you know, everyone knows these artists. They're huge. And I felt like it was a film that would really diversify my producer title. So I said it's a win-win situation. But what I didn't know was COVID was going to hit.
Man. None of us knew.
So we did this in 2000, and I think we started in 2019. And
Well,
it was
right
supposed to come
before the
out.
pandemic.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out 2020. Then the pandemic hit right when the film was done in March. Was when we went into the shutdown. So we've kind of been in limbo. It went from 90-day return on my money to like almost years later.
Right.
And I was like, what
Right.
we doing here? So
Right.
now finally they sold it to streaming, and it got picked up by a studio. So it's coming out,
Nice.
on April 30th.
Okay.
Good.
So I'm super excited about that. I'm just like, check.
Right.
But it's also good to just add it to the portfolio of things that I'm doing.
No, this movie looks like a movie.
It's a movie.
A movie.
It's a movie.
I watched the preview. I'm like, when this coming out? I'm
It's
glad
a
you said
movie
April 30th.
with bonuses and pickup all kind of.
Right. I
So
love
I'm
it.
excited.
So were you on set at any time for this movie?
So I went to set one time.
Okay.
Which, as a producer, especially when you're coming on the financial side,
Yeah.
we don't have much to do with the creative, but we got edits every day. Every time they finish an edit, we got it.
That's
so we
dope.
were able to be involved with the creative side of it. And just because I wanted to just be all up involved, I was like, let me just go to set. So we went to set. But I really didn't have to, but it was great just to see how lesbians like that work.
Right.
And it's a real deal, Holyfield. They don't play when it comes to work.
Nah, and then Christopher Walken being the amazing actor that he is, having so much weight under his belt, man. And I hadn't seen him in that light in a while. I know he's been doing a lot of lighter stuff, but that light, that seemed like to be pretty cool stuff right there.
And let me tell you, this man, he's so incredible. He doesn't have a cell phone. Doesn't have any social media. You see, when I posted, I couldn't even tag him.
Yeah.
No cell phone. Never had a cell phone. Never had any social media. Strictly goes off his house phone. And like, if you need him, you gotta talk to his assistant. That'll find him. That's it. As
That's a way
well
to
off
keep-
as he is.
Yeah. But he's staying away to keep connected to himself.
Staying grounded and
Yeah.
connected. Yep.
Sometimes we got to do that. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't think people even realize how very important it is to do. To
just
put that
tune
cell
off.
phone down. Put
Yep.
those. Get off of social media.
Yep.
Even if it's for a weekend, do it. Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's very important to stay grounded and stay with yourself.
Yeah.
And if your mental health is not correct, it's not correct with yourself.
That's
How
right.
you gonna be good for anybody
That's right.
else?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Preach, Juicy.
Baby, we was watching a movie last night with the kids, and my son, we're gonna watch yesterday. It's gonna be exciting. So I had all the kids on the bed, and my son goes, "And mommy, there's no phone, not even to work." I was like, "Excuse me."
Guess you heard
I'm like,
that.
"You heard me?" I said, "Listen, I'm an entrepreneur. My days don't stop."
Right.
And I was in the middle of ordering some stuff for the skincare line. I was like, "I'm sorry, son. I gotta work." After a while, I was like, "You know what? Let me just put this phone down. It's only 2 hours.
Right.
I could figure it out. Figure it out."
Yeah,
Well,
you
your
figured it
son
out.
has spoken.
He has spoken.
I ain't mad at that at all. Right now, if you just tuning in, we kicking it with Yandy Smith Harris. We talked about her being on the Facebook Watch show, which is dope, and I really want you guys to watch. We actually reposted it on our Reec Radio Facebook page for y'all to check out.
Yes.
And Christopher Walken, the movie that you guys just dropped, April 30th, is coming out.
That's right.
That's not a bed. That's a whole house.
Yeah, okay.
I'm showing him the picture of all of us watching
Right,
the movie
I
on
love
the
that.
bed
That's
last
dope,
night.
right? That's the DJ over there, standing up on the furniture.
So
he think he's in a club somewhere.
We were just talking about it's coming out what?
April 30th.
April 30th, right? So not only is that coming out April 30th, but you got something else that start back up this month as
Talk to him.
well.
Well, we started shooting this month,
Okay.
but it's not gonna air probably for another month or two.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, am I reaching if I say you bought a house in Atlanta?
You
There's
reaching.
a love of hip hop.
You reaching.
Okay,
You
cool.
reaching?
All right.
Yeah, you reaching?
I'll just,
You
you know.
reaching? I'm not saying which
Right.
network is coming, but
Okay.
one of them has started shooting. I go back and forth to New York
I know
every
it, I know it.
weekend. So
It's a lot going
It's a lot
on.
going
It's a
on.
lot going on. Stay
She had
tuned.
to come down here to be close to me. That's
The
That's it.
juice. Everybody got to be close to the juice.
Miss Juicy, baby. Close to grass.
Right.
Close to trees and flowers.
A creek or two.
Okay. I'm tired of living on concrete. My baby's playing on concrete.
Right.
So I said, let me just get a little bit of grass for them babies.
That's what's up. Now you closer to your new friends too, the Robertsons.
I'm closer to my new. You know what? Let me tell you something. Definitely, but the South has shown me nothing but love. I love
up.
so many people out here. I got some close. Me and Portia are really, really close.
Dope.
Me and Candy, me and Jennifer Williams. Marlo. I can name a bunch of people that I'm just really, really close with. My other family, Queen Naja and Clarence, are out here. Super close with them.
Dope.
So the South has been good to us.
That's what's up, man. You heard that little bell go off in your ear? That's called a flex bell. You didn't mean to. You just selling your real life, but sometimes our real life is a flex. So you get the bill.
I
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't trying to flex.
No, we know that. It's like a humble type situation.
See,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine
It shows
too,
your
'cause
real
I
life.
do it all the time. We call it Friday, Flex
Flex Friday.
But you know, it's okay when the queen come in here on Wednesday.
It's a
we
working
can
woman
flex.
Wednesday, yeah.
You
and
know?
she getting all the way to it.
Because I flex every day of the week.
I know
you
that's
what I'm
right,
saying?
honey.
Absolutely.
She's the ultimate flexer, baby. She
Baby.
walk in the room and it's a
Yes,
flex.
the
And she
button
come
on
with,
the bell is
with so
worn out.
much confidence and so much aura. I want to be like
Absolutely.
Miss Juicy when I grow up.
The bell
That's
hardly
it.
works because it's Miss Juicy. Over usage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
If we can get the Cash App noise in here, we would put that on here too for Miss Juicy. Baby. All right, man. We kicking it on Reec Radio Live. What's his name? The name of the movie and the project one more time for those who just tuning in because we want them to check it out on the 30th.
It's called Percy, and it will be in the theaters April 30th. It's definitely going to be an amazing film to check out. Definitely, if you want to be enlightened on what life is like as a small-time farmer, when the big guys want to come in and just take over your homegrown business, and it's representative of so much. You know, a lot of us have small companies and we're small businesses, and then a large business comes and tries to buy us out, and it totally loses substance of who it was when it started. So, you know, it's a great film.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off because it got me thinking. Like, I know you probably saw that on the music end too.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. Music, TV. You know, Love and Hip Hop started from just a little idea that I had for my clients, and it turned into a huge conglomerate.
Right.
You know, the big business comes in and they take over.
Right, and sometimes they don't want to give you all the just due for your creation.
All the just due or all the money.
Yeah, that's an issue.
So that those things happen, but you know, it's when you are diligent and you can create again. That's what you do, and I think you learn and you do better the next time.
I love it.
Right, the first time you create a show and things don't necessarily happen the way you want them to happen, you create another one.
Yeah, because
right?
you hold the power. That's your power, the creation power.
Exactly. Exactly. And just like, you know, when there was a Jay-Z, and I remember there was a Dame, and Jay said, if you made me, make another me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you can't make another me, stop talking so much.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So I can take my creativity and, you know, create a movie like Percy.
Absolutely.
Or create another show like some of the shows we have coming out.
Yep.
So
I love it. I love it. I love it.
We gonna
man.
keep moving.
So many great things going on right now. I've been seeing you amplifying that black voice too. I love it. So when all this stuff happening through the pandemic, we've seen a lot of racial injustice.
Yes.
But you being a black woman taking that platform, what made you jump out there like that?
Because I'm a black woman and I'm raising black children. I can't even just say I'm raising a black son because now it has no gender. You know, the women are getting treated just as harshly as the men. You think about Breonna Taylor.
Yes.
At home sleeping, woken up out of her sleep
Right.
Yes.
by bullets because of who she was associated with in the past.
Right.
You know, it's something that I can watch and complain about the problem, or I can sit up and be a part of the solution.
I love it.
So I decided that I wanted to get out there and use this little voice, this little platform that I have to
It's
be a
not
part
little,
of the
but I
solution.
get what you're saying. You got a lot of people say you could take that platform and use it for something or use it for something else.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate what you're using it for because we need those types of voices out there. Like I always,
you, my brother.
Thank you. Big up to our showcast with Juicy, Bevy, and JP because they get out there and do the work too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about myself right now, just talking about and blowing them up, giving that big up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
I love that.
important. We all have a voice in this activism role. And whatever it is, you know, it might not be standing on the front line. For you, getting on the radio, talking about some of the things that you've seen and talking about the injustices, Miss Juicy being out there, you know, all of those things, reposting something, all of those things are impactful as well.
They add to the
They
bottom line.
add to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we all got to just do our part.
What part of doing this and that journey for you, like, was the most eye-opening for you?
You know what really hit me when I was like, it was two things. And I was like, I got to get involved. The first thing was when the feds came to my house. You know, when they came to my house, guns drawn. And I realized that it was a lose-lose situation. You know, even if you decide, like, I didn't do this, going to trial, 98% of black men are going to be convicted.
Right.
And then if you go to trial, you're going to get triple the time. And I was like, that's not fair.
Right.
So you pretty much just got to take a plea, you know, if you wasn't there or wasn't a part of this, you got to take a plea for the fear of, well, I'm going to take this 35 years.
Railroaded.
I might as well take this 7, 6, 5, 8, you know. And I have to talk in general spaces because the person I'm talking about is still on paperwork. So I can't even really, because it's almost like for the rest of your life, or even after you serve your time,
you're proving your innocence still.
You're still, even if you haven't proven you're innocent, and if they said you're guilty and you've done your time for what they said you're guilty of, you're still on paperwork.
Exactly.
So you say the wrong thing, somebody associated with you say the wrong thing, they could come snatch you back up.
Right up.
So, you know, being still like in captivity, whether you're innocent or proven guilty, not proven guilty, but you did your time, there are so many things that need to change with this justice system, especially the way this justice system affects people of color.
Absolutely.
So that was the first thing that was like, okay, this is crazy. That, you know, my family is shaken up and I really can't do anything about it. Then the next thing was Trayvon Martin. You know, my son at that time, my husband has a son that's older than my little babies. And his favorite thing to do when he was like 8 and 9 was wear hoodies. And we lived in an area that was predominantly white and Asian.
Right. I heard
so he would want to go outside and play on the little basketball court.
Right.
When the situation happened with Trayvon Martin, it just hit home for me because I was like, you cannot wear your hoodie outside. Yeah. You cannot go. They might think you don't belong in this area. They might think that you're, you know, we're brown.
Right.
You know, and if you wear a hoodie or you come from the store, it was like you can't go to the park by yourself no more.
Right.
And the park was literally downstairs and across the street from the house. Right. I'm like, you can't. You just can't.
Yeah, it's very disheartening as a parent.
It is.
In those situations.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, like, okay, I can't just sit back and be scared and prohibit my child from going to the park because I'm working upstairs. I can look out the window and see him, but I can't risk looking out the window seeing somebody say, he don't belong here and shooting him.
Right.
You know, so I got to do something. Yeah. And that was the next thing where I was like, nah, I really got to get involved.
And you've been hitting the ground running ever since, and we appreciate you for it because there's so many people that say don't do anything because they feel like they may be drowned out. But just trying to do something, we appreciate that. We applaud that. Absolutely. Now tell us about this skincare.
Oh, wait a minute, hold up.
And say the word for me, just.
Now, no,
because I was going back and forth. Is it yell or yell? E? No.
You did. You said it.
Yell.
It's the second one. It's yell.
Yell. Okay.
Now, COVID-19, it did stop production for Love and Hip Hop, but your skincare line, it is booming.
It's booming.
So I mean, it's like popping. So what? I know the name of it, Yell, is also your name.
Yes, how'd you know that?
Don't worry about it.
We do heavy research here on the show.
Don't worry about it. I know a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
It is.
But it is your name. So what made you decide that you want to go into the skincare business?
So most things that I get involved in, it's a personal thing. When I started loving hip hop, I never wore makeup. I was not into makeup. I was not into hair and all that stuff. So when I first started wearing makeup, it did a number on my skin. I had all kind of black spots. I had hyperpigmentation. I had dry patches around my nose. It was peeling. Then oily around here. So I was like, this ain't gonna work. So I went to Sephora and I was like, I need something for my eyes. I had dark circles around my eyes. I have this, I have that. Baby, they just started throwing stuff in the basket. I'm like, okay. I went to the register. When she said, oh, that'll be $489.
Okay.
I
For
said,
3 bottles?
Yes.
400 what?
Right.
It was like 4 or 5 bottles. And I was like, it don't matter. And she's like, oh, and that's your 30-day supply. I said, there's no way the average working woman could pay almost $500 for a product for their skin for 1 month.
Right.
I'm like, no. So what I did was, I got that, and I was like, I need to figure. And then the thing about it was, when I was walking around the store, I kept looking for signs like, okay,
where's our section?
What do the black people use? And I didn't feel like I was represented in any of the signage. So I left. At the time, I still have a lifestyle brand called Everything Girls Love, and we had a magazine. So I went to the person that ran the beauty department, and she was VP at Bliss Spas, but her passion was all natural, holistic care of the skin. So I'm like, can you come on board and be an advisor? I want to get with chemists to come up with some all-natural skincare products.
Yeah.
And she came on board for 3.5 years. I researched and, tested some things out. My first whole line failed because it was like mango, this scent, that scent, broke me out. Did I have to go back and do it again? Finally, we got it right. Took 3 years, we got it right, and we released it. And, it was a slow build. All those people out there that's just starting companies, let me be the prime example for you. Just because you're on a TV show, at the time I might have had about 800,000 followers or whatever. I don't even remember. But even with all of that, I might have sold 3 products the first month of me launching it, and that was my friends. You know, it wasn't until I was diligent and I figured out what my niche wanted to see, which was me dancing in front of a mirror, doing my skincare.
Okay.
And that's when I really started to sell product. Now, when the pandemic hit, we were doing well up until the pandemic. Then when the pandemic hit, it was like people cared so much about health and beauty.
They were getting to do research at
My
that
sales quadrupled. I mean, 5 times the sales. The minute the shutdown hit, it was like, I was like, oh God, we sold out that first week, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. I put a rush order in, and I ordered like 9,000 pieces. Like, let me just, that'll keep me through this year. Sold out of that in about a month.
Thanks, Bill.
And it just kept, it was like going crazy.
Right.
So even now, it's still just going crazy. So I'm opening up a store.
There we go.
Which is the reason why I wanted to get a house here, because we're opening our first store in Atlanta.
Hey, I
And
love
can you go ahead and let the world know when it's going to open?
So it's going to be open the first week of May, and I'm going to do, I got to come back up here because.
No, we're going to broadcast live from the grand
Oh,
opening.
that would be amazing.
My bad,
Oh
Juice.
my
Okay.
gosh. Oh, she rolling her eyes.
She probably wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yo, that would be so amazing if you guys could do
Yeah,
that.
it would be there.
We shutting down the whole block. We're gonna have a whole block party. It's gonna be amazing.
We love it. We
So
love
I
it.
cannot wait. And I'm just so grateful for the support. It's been crazy. Atlanta, I've never seen so many successful, beautiful, every establishment I walk into is black owned.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it in Atlanta because black people winning out here.
Yeah.
Y'all fancy, y'all fly, the cars y'all drive, the
Wait
way
a
y'all
minute.
walk into a
You
room.
just gotta,
Change that.
you just gotta wait.
You
Watch
said
where you
y'all.
park.
We are fancy.
We
I'm
are
here
fly.
now. You're right.
You here?
Okay, you hear now.
Right.
I'm here now. So I just wanted to be a part of this movement, which I have going on out here. So please, I'm begging y'all out there that's listening, please accept me. Please allow me to be down with y'all greatness because y'all do some amazing things.
Dope.
So I want to open the first store here, then I'm going to bring it back home to New York.
Love it.
Because I'm like, if we can make it in Atlanta, then I know we can make it in New York. So I'm excited.
I love it, man. One time for Yandy Smith with the Yale skincare and the store popping up. I love it. We'll give you a round of applause real quick. We had a few black-owned beauty supply stores come in here too, so we're gonna link y'all up afterwards
please.
in which way, some shape, fashion, or form. So
Miss
maybe you
Juicy
guys
got
can
all
cross
my
promote or
numbers.
something. Yeah.
Okay.
There we
She
go.
got everything.
All 6 phones. We ready.
She got everything.
We kicking it. We talking about these movies, these things that you're doing, some of these new shows you're doing. Anything that you specifically want to mention that you got going on besides the grand opening? That's big news.
It is big news. You know, you can follow me and keep up to all that I have going on my platforms. I keep it pretty simple. Yandy Smith, the name I get checks in. I don't have nothing fancy. Just Yandy Smith on Twitter, Yandy Smith on Instagram, Yandy Smith on Facebook. And there's always something happening. So
Right.
I will always keep you informed through those social media platforms.
We love it. We love it. Y'all going to get you some Yale skincare before they sell
That's
out again. You know what I'm saying? 6.7 million folks on your Instagram now. You know what I mean?